Hey, what's up guys? Ghosty Boy here with another banger of a story. And jeez, that intro was so cringy, dude. But the story starts off when I was in elementary school. And I would always go to a room where basically this kid was like, there was like some kids that had some anger issues and stuff. And basically, I would go in there and I would get help and stuff, and I would because I wasn't that good at school, to be honest, but basically, I was in 4th or 5th grade. I'm having trouble remembering it really vividly, but I remember it pretty vividly, the part that, is the big part of the story. But yeah, so there was like a couple of things in this class that, I witnessed that was, very, very, very interesting. And we'll start off with the first one. So, there was this kid, he was like a 2nd grader. He was in that class, and I think he was in there full time. I don't know, dude. But yeah. So this kid, he was pretty nice. He was pretty nice when he wanted to be, and I'm gonna be honest, he wasn't the worst kid, but But anyways, one day, he was having a little bit of a meltdown. You know what I'm saying? And he was like throwing stuff around, tearing up papers. Literally, I think he actually smashed a monitor, a computer monitor, like one of those old thick ones. You know what I'm talking about? Like the ones that I'll put a picture up right now. But one of those ones, and it was like, I think he put a hole in the center of the screen or something like that. I don't think he did that. He did I think he cracked the screen or whatever. But yeah, and then a few minutes later, both of the principals, because our school had 2 principals, I think it was they were both at equal power. It was really weird. And I don't know if this was at my own school, but that's one thing in my school that I know was a thing. And yeah, so, but in that room that I was in, I went to, there was this little corner closet thing that didn't go all up to the ceiling. It had a door that was just made out of particle board or whatever. It looked kind of cheap, and it was painted white to blend in with everything. I don't remember what it was called, but I saw it all the time, and yeah. But long story short, this kid was basically tearing up everything, and he flipped 15 desks. He flipped all the desks in the room, and it wasn't that big of a room either. So, teacher was the teacher that was in the room. One of them went, the principal, both the principals and the teacher went to go restrain this kid, and the kid was screeching at the top. He's like, and it was so weird, and I was like, oof. And me and my friend Caleb, we were in there together, and we were in there for the same reason. But basically, what happened was, so this kid, he was okay, so let me explain this. So me and everyone else in the classroom that was the students, we all went to one corner of the room. It was a corner of the room with a carpet and a few beanbags, and then there was 2 teachers around us guarding us in case he would come over and attack us, you know what I'm saying? And then there was the main teacher, and then the principals. And they took him over to the little closet thing, and they put him in, and then he started screeching like a demon again, and and I'm trying not to make this sound really bad, but he was not very happy. He was screeching on top of his lungs first off, and then he started cussing out the teachers and stuff, and be like, "You're a stupid person, dude. Get out of this classroom." And it was so funny, and then me and everyone else in the class we were trying not to laugh. He was trying to sound very menacing, but he was a 2nd grader, and he was 4'5". He was a really tall 2nd grader, and he was really skinny too. So he wasn't the most built person. And then out of nowhere we just hear boom, 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 and he was trying to break down the door. And he wasn't doing a very good job at it, because all we heard was just boom, boom, and then the teacher didn't even move. The teacher was like, "Is that you in there?" And he was like, yeah, can I get out? And then she was like, no, you have to stay in there for like 10 minutes. And he at that point, he was like, no, no, no. He wasn't having it. And basically what happened is this is the weirdest part of the story, and this is why I call this video the nastiest kid ever in school. His clothes started going over the wall of the closet thing, one at a time, and one of his pants landed on one of the principals, and his other clothes, they tried to catch him and put him in a pile and stuff. But basically what happened is this kid, we heard a lot of plopping sounds. Now this is where it gets really nasty. But we heard a lot of plopping sounds, like you know, like, how would I explain this? Like if you got mud and you like step around in mud, that's what it sounded like. And then all of a sudden, we just see projectiles of feces and stuff and poop. You know, poop, feces, same thing. We start seeing the projectile throwing of those, and at that point, like he was doing it. He had like 15 chunks of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to go into too much detail, but that's basically what happened. Is there was like a bunch of little, and then like, and then one of them. This is the most nastiest part I've ever seen, and this was like when I was like 10 years old. In 2010, well, in 2013-ish, one of them hit the teacher directly in the cheek, like on her cheek, and it was in her hair, and she was like, "Oh no!" And then her and the principals were like, they were done at that point. They were like, "No, no, no!" And then they called in the maintenance people, and like the janitors and stuff, and they brought like 15 towels, and basically what happened is they picked them up in towels. They had them like wrapped around in towels, and they were like, it was kind of like a straight like a vest. But they made it out of towels and stuff, so they have them wrapped around and like really tight in a towel. And of course he didn't have any clothes on, but you know. But he was just wrapped up, and then the whole room just started smelling from, you know, the projectiles. But they took him out of the room. We didn't see him until 2 months later. And this is the weird part. And then when he came back, he had like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm trying to remember. You know, so, like, it's hard to remember this stuff because I am older now, so it's hard to remember stuff from back then. But he didn't come back until 2 months later. And after that whole thing, then we're going back to right after he left the room. The teachers were like, alright, come on, we're going to go into another room and we're going to just chill out for a minute. You guys can just play on the computers in that other room. And we were like, yay, computers! Because that's all we had. We didn't have phones back then. At least in my grade. And like most of us in middle school didn't have phones until we were in high school. So, you guys are lucky if you're younger. But yeah, that was the story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to hear more stories like that, leave a like. If we reach 5 likes, I will make another video on another story, and it involves another nasty kid. Like, and oh man, I have some really good stories from elementary school. But if you guys would like to see them, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. If we break 5 likes, I'll make another story. If we reach 8 likes, it's a good thing. I'll make 2 stories. And that will be like one week after another. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay spooky.